Well, hello there. Hi, YouTube. It feels like it's been forever. How are you? Today is Monday, January 8th, 2018. This is, I figured it out, my week 195 post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy update. Happy New Year. I hope you guys all had a wonderful holiday. I've been a little missing in action. I hate saying living life, but living life and having visitors and things like that. But it feels like today was the first, regular work day, kind of get back to normal. So I am back on track with videos. I actually made one yesterday, but it wouldn't upload, so I'm just starting over. So if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing. If you've been hanging around for a while, thank you even more for putting up with my nuttiness. But I had weight loss surgery, vertical sleeve gastrectomy, almost 4 years ago. My highest weight was 402.2 pounds. My weight at surgery was 360.6 pounds. I don't know what my weight was the last time I came to you guys. The lowest weight I have been is 198 pounds. My weight this morning was 226.4 pounds. So that's where I'm at from a weight perspective. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes. But before I get, because this may be a little long, before I get into my video topics, I wanted to say, and I may have already said this, but it's been so long I don't remember, big, huge shout out to Edie Ruth. Sarah Harrison Robinson had her beautiful, 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 beautiful little baby who I love getting pictures of every day. And that's one of the things in this community that makes me so happy. Oh, here comes Dale Cooper. Dale Cooper has nothing to do with me anymore. He is all about Brian. So quite interesting that the moment I make a video, he decides to come up here. What's up with that? Yeah, he's, are you a fame whore, Dale Cooper? What are you? Anyway, that's Dale Cooper. I swear to God, he does not have anything to do with me anymore. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So Sarah Harrison had her little baby, Edie Ruth. But that's one of the things. Seeing people who have struggled with fertility in the weight loss surgery community have babies makes me so, 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 so very happy. So, yeah, there's that. And let's see. Dale Cooper totally distracted me and I lost my train of thought. What am I going to talk about? Oh, I wanted to say that. I wanted to say Naked Truth is coming back. I'm going to stop calling it the Naked Truth. I'm going to come up with a different name because YouTube doesn't like that name and it flags it because I guess it says naked. But so I'll come up with something else between now and January 21st. But January 21st, the Naked Truth is back and our guest will be Foodie Turned Sleevey. So that's Sunday, January 21st at 5 o'clock. Pacific time. I hope you guys will join us. All right, now my regular update. The first, I can't tell if it's raining or somebody's here. Is somebody here? I like to make my videos in private. It's raining here. It doesn't rain that often. So I want to talk a little bit about what I've learned in 2017. This is more life related necessarily than weight loss surgery related, but I think it all fits together. And then also what I'm looking forward to in 2018. So every year at the end of the year, I sort of reflect back on the lessons that year gave me. This year, the first few years post, I will be 4 years. I think I've said this 12 times. All right, 4 years post-op in April. The first few years following weight loss surgery were all rainbows and unicorns. The highs were very high. There were always exciting NSVs happening. It was one big roller coaster of love. Last year was the first year that things sort of like settled into normal. And I felt like it was more a year of lessons, not all the highs, some lows, some mediums, some highs. But it's like, here we are with real life. What are you going to do with that, Elizabeth? That's sort of what I felt like last year was. So what were my key takeaway lessons? Number one, and I made a video about this, I don't know all the things about anything, about life, about weight loss surgery, about people, about most of the things. And it was a little humbling for me because I come from a long line of know-it-alls. I think both of my parents sort of I got a lot of their esteem from their intelligence and knowing better or more, although not always in the common sense arena, than other people. And so I sort of grew up with that as my motto, is I know all the things. Well, I don't know all the things. So it was necessary, but a little humbling to realize all the things that I did not know. This was also the year I think I sort of felt like I was for the first few years, I was the A+ weight loss surgery patient. I was the teacher's pet, did most of the right things, and sort of thought, because I had done that for so long, that it would be the way it would be for the rest of my life, and I would not ever be at a point where these negative habits were coming back into my life. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. You heard my stats. I am dealing with some regain right now, most of which has happened in the last month, probably. But dealing with some regain, and dealing, more importantly than the regain, is just the habits and the mentality and things like that that have come along with it that I sort of thought weren't going to be part of my life anymore. But it is what it is. So I think it was good for me to learn to come at the world more from a place of shutting the fuck up and not pretending like I know everything. So that's sort of where I'm at, and was a lesson I took from 2017. Here's another lesson. I don't have to be alone. I think I really felt like I would always be living by myself, that I was very set in my ways, you know. And first of all, at the beginning of 2017, Gracie came in, and we lived together for a few months, and she kind of opened me up to the idea of knowing how, just how nice it is to live with someone and share your life on a day-to-day basis. Even like the crazy, weird, boring times. So she opened me up to that, and have been living with Brian for the last few months, which has been really awesome and a learning experience for me every step of the way. But I just think I always felt I would be alone in my day-to-day life, and it's nice to have had two such really wonderful growth experiences with two people that I love so much, showing me that that isn't the case. I knew it from a perspective of friendships and family and things like that, but just like day-to-day living together, it's kind of nice most of the time. Life is fragile. That's another thing I learned this year. I appreciate the moment. Sorry, I dropped my glasses. I spent a lot of time in hospitals this year with people I cared about, and I saw lots of people in my life, in the lives of my friends, and pass away unexpectedly in some cases, you know, part of the circle of life in other cases, but still very you know, I don't want to say, it is sad. It is, and today actually is the, I don't know how many years, probably 17th anniversary of my grandfather's death by suicide. And my grandfather was like my person. He was the person who, sort of like the sun rose and set in me for him. He was somebody who I knew adored me and always had my back. And when you lose someone, well, particularly by suicide, it's different because it's very complicated, but when you lose someone, there's a lot of grief, but it also opens you up to this overwhelming amount of love. So it is very sad that these people have passed on this year, but for me, it's just been a realization of how important it is to appreciate the moment, to say how important people are to you, to not worry about what anybody cares about, what you think about them. It's about you. You know, if you love somebody, it's about you. Say it, live it, because you don't know. I mean, it sounds a little cliche and trite, but you don't know. It may be the last time you see them. So that was a lesson for me this year. Also learned that there is an ebb and flow in all kinds of relationships, and that for me personally, I just want to hold people with an open hand, so that they know that they can, that if I love them, I love them, and I'm here, and they can come and go, and my love is always going to remain. I really do believe that. That's just who I am. I know some people don't forgive and hold grudges and blah, blah, blah. But if I've, you know, truly loved and cared about somebody, I'm always going to love and care about them. And one of the exciting things this year is there's a lot of new people in my life that I didn't know a year ago today. So that's awesome. The big positive lesson from this year, and it's not necessarily just things that were accomplished this year, but it's over the past few years, is that so much beyond what I could have imagined is possible in this world. It's actually pretty crazy that there are things that I never thought possible in my life that have happened. I never thought I would lose weight. I always thought that was for someone else. I used to every year around this time of year look and see that number that I needed to lose was 150 pounds or 200 pounds or 250 pounds and be like, there is no way that can ever happen to me. Well, guess what? It did. I never thought that I would be standing in front of a group of people holding up the jeans where I could fit in one side of the leg like I was at the Obesity Help Conference this week. I never thought I would have so many people who I don't even know supporting me and pulling for me and being kind to me. And particularly this year, when generally I am really good at reciprocating that kindness, and it's been hard for me this year. Not because I don't want to, but just because of everything that's been going on. I haven't sent thank you notes. I haven't done some things that I said I was going to do. And still you guys love me and show up for me. And that is really amazing. And who would have thought, I mean, really, honestly, a year ago today, that I would be living with Brian. And yeah. And that Dale Cooper would like him more than me. Really, that's the ultimate thing, that Dale Cooper would like him more than me. Okay, you know what? I'm thinking I'm going to break this video into 2 parts so that it's not too long. So this is part 1, the reflections on 2017. So stay tuned to part 2 where we're going to talk about 2018. All right? Bye.